You've been waiting on a dip to enter the market? Well, this could be it. Bitcoin is down nearly 13%. A lot of majors are down around 20%. Meme coins are down 30 to 60% or more. I'm going to talk about why some of this is happening and what specifically meme coins, and I'm going to throw in some other coins that I'm looking at during this dip. It's very important to understand what's happening before deciding whether you want to enter the market or go back in or anything like that, because you want to be able to calculate whether you think it's just going to keep on dipping and that would be catching a falling knife, or if you think it's going to bounce back nicely. At the time of making this video, Bitcoin is actually $92,000. We'll see where it's at in just a few weeks. It's extremely important to know and to realize that this is very risky. Bitcoin itself and crypto is risky. A lot of things that we're going to be talking about in this video, if the market recovers, they're going to recover very hard and very aggressive. If the market tanks, they're going to be the first to tank, and they're going to tank very hard and very aggressive. A lot of things that I'm mentioning in this video can go down 80, 90, or even more percent. I mean, it could evaporate your money. So this is not financial advice. This is just observations and looking at what I'm looking at, documenting my journey, and making all information available to those who aren't living in the market like myself. With all that being said, let's dive in. So a lot of you probably clicked this video so you can see me talk about these sweet, juicy gains, besides Christmas, of course, the one that I told you guys was going to dip before Christmas when it was at 25 mil and it's currently at 7 mil, and I got roasted for it. But we're going to go to that later. We're going to talk about the important things, why the market is dipping. So first and foremost, people are concerned about Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor is, of course, aggressively buying Bitcoin, but there's a lot of FUD around that. Like, what happens if he gets liquidated? First and foremost, this isn't really the best term. I actually agree with Cook. I very rarely agree with Cook, and I mostly agree with Easy most of the time. But he's not really he's not leveraging, so he's not going to get liquidated. So even the term isn't really like correct. But basically, Easy's trying to explain that like the bond insurance against the company equity has to have some level of liquidation. This person, Manny, says that under 58K it has to hold there for more than 20 to 28 to 2031. In other words, it's not going to happen for a long time. It's important to know here, he's not leveraging like broker traders would do. He's leveraging with loans from stockholders, which is a much longer term problem. So could Michael Saylor cause a black swan event? Yes, he could. Is he going to come from massive liquidations of the market? It would have to be extremely intense from what I understand. So if a lot of this dip is just coming from the Michael Saylor FUD, it's kind of a nothing ball. I mean, you even see Ansem talking about it. He says, like, how do they manage an average price? Because Michael Saylor's average buy price is 106K. UD explains this very well. He says, what do you mean? It's obvious. They're buying with size, and by definition, when sellers eventually overcome buyers, that'll be the top. They bought the most at the top because that's where the sellers showed up. So basically, it's this bear and bull game as always. If there's more buyers than sellers, price goes up. If there's more sellers than buyers, price goes down. We'll see where this goes after the end of the year. The people are tax loss harvesting. We still haven't had a change of office. There is a million factors going on. I don't think that this is the factor for the macro, but even right now, some things going on with apparently North Korean hackers trying to target Hyperliquid and trying to find vulnerabilities there. And I mean, there's a whole different set of problems around Hyperliquid and FUD right now. That looks like it's probably going to end up being a nothing burger, but we're going to see what that's going to be at the end of the day. So these are just some of the factors that is causing a dent in the market. With all that being said, I made a video last week, and in that video I included about how December 24th was the bottom in one of the years past, and I'm still kind of sticking with that. I'm not calling it a bottom. I'm not saying for sure, but I like to bet on history and cycles, and I don't think the bull run is done here. So a lot of things that I'm looking at during this video is I'm not really looking at for just maybe a week flip. I'm looking for longer term positions to sell into the height of the bull. And a lot of things I do trade, you know, on the weekly or even daily basis. With all that being said, let's look at some things ranging from the largest or the safer compared risk to the highest risk. So we're going to go safest first. First and foremost, Pingu. While this can be classified as several things other than a meme token, I think Pingu, which is tied to Pudgy Penguins, which is the largest brand in NFTs. They're in all the Walmarts. They're in. So I went shopping the other day and saw Pudgy Penguin stuff where I was shopping at. I just think that this brand has insane upside, and you can tell by some of my buys that I believe in that. I bought Pingu on several different wallets, and I got some airdrop, not much, because I didn't own any assets. I didn't fill out the stupid form. And my average buy price right now is at 3 billion. So it's actually, you know, quite above where this is on this wallet. I've bought on other wallets as well. I think Pingu can easily 2x, 3x, 4x from here. Again, it's one of the biggest brands in NFTs, and now they have a token tied to it, and that token is going to open up so much potential. So in my opinion, I think Pingu has a ton of room to go up if the rest of the market goes up. We've kind of seen just accumulation period from the initial drop. You never want to consider like the initial drop, like that's just something you don't want to touch. But since then, it's been pretty consistent. So Pingu is definitely one of the things that's worth mentioning in this video. The next one I actually don't own, but I'm looking at, and there's a couple of options for this, and this is Goat. Goat was like the first AI token that really just like set the pace. And I just think with a lot of first movers, they usually have staying power. Currently, Goat is at $500 million market cap. It touched 1 bill. These are some wallets that I'm tracking, which by the way, if you're watching this video and you're interested in wallet tracking, you can get access to BullX Neo, which allows this style of wallet tracking just from the partnered creators. I happen to be one of those partner creators. All you have to do is just use my link that's in the about section and use BullX, and you'll get this. I have my own wallet tracker right here that I'm constantly adding to, where I have some of the top traders in the space, or even top influencers like Frank D Gods. I have Ansem, I have Cupsy, and a lot of others. So if you're looking at that, you want access to that, I have access for you. It's down below, and you also get a percentage off of trading fees. With all that being said, I think Goat is kind of a no-brainer, and kind of off the tail end of Goat as well. I think Fartcoin could fall into here. I actually don't own either of those tokens, but I think just like there's going to be AI with this narrative, and so I think that I think that Goat just makes sense. Some of the ones that aren't necessarily meme coins, but I'll keep on meme coins for a second. This one's a little bit different and maybe not for my normal audience, but it's something to keep an eye on. This is Billion Dollar Cat. Billion Dollar Cat, or BDC, is a Bitcoin meme coin. It's a rune. And it's literally just I can't really see it good right here, but Billion Dollar Cat is literally just a cat that looks like sunglasses. That is the Bitcoin logo flipped upside down. And I think this is such an original meme coin, and there's not many good meme coins on Bitcoin. And I still think that the runes market could definitely have a good recovery. This is sitting at a $50 million market cap. If runes do take off and they are adopted, to me, this is easily one of the top 5. While we're on runes, just a honorable mention, if you just want like a little bit of exposure to runes but want to go the safest route in comparison to runes, I think Dog would be your bet. Dog is currently the highest market cap rune at $666 million, and it's the largest meme coin on Bitcoin. It's also already available on Kraken. I think if any get listed on exchanges, Dog is really the one to get listed on exchanges. I think Dog is probably my favorite rune, period. It has the biggest holder. It has the loudest holders for sure. I think Dog is a great pick. There's also a lot of other great ones on runes, but I'll make a dedicated video to that. Couple other things I'm looking at. We'll get outside of memes just for a second. Magic Eden token. I do own this token as well. I own a pretty good bit of it. I got the airdrop. This is Magic Eden. It's more than a marketplace. It's a DEX. It's several different things. They're hiring like 25 new positions. This is a full out scalable company that I think has been absolutely crushing it. They had this initial, just like every airdrop, you had the initial allocation airdrop, and then it's been pretty steady but kind of declining ever since. Currently sitting at a $2.85 billion market cap, which to me is laughable. I mean, for a company of this scale, for this not to have at least a $5 billion market cap compared to some of its competitors, I just think it's natural that if we get a rebound in the market, that Magic Eden token rebounds. I have leverage bets on Magic Eden. I actually have longs pulled up where it's not, I'm not gonna lie, it's not too far from my liquidation price right now. But I have some longs and I have a lot of spot in Magic Eden as well. So I'm definitely gonna mention that. Of course, I'm going to mention things that I hold and don't hold on this channel, because a lot of things that I hold, I know a lot about. I'm not going to talk about things I don't know a lot about. I know a lot about Magic Eden token. Another thing that I hold really just from like a couple of buys, I don't hold much of this, but I think it's worth mentioning, especially when gaming comes back, is Pixel token. Pixel is tied to Sappy Seals, which by the way, if you haven't been following, NFTs made a pretty strong comeback. Seals being one of those that went from like half an ETH to 1.4 ETH. I bought one seal during the peak of the bear market at like, I don't know, 0.3 or 0.4. I got laughed at it by social media on it. Now I'm up 1 ETH on it, and also ETH's worth a lot more. And well, these seals provide a Pixel token, but they no longer provide Pixel token. So, which is a good thing, I think, for the price of Pixel, because that's less sell pressure. Pixel is currently valued at a $31 million market cap. And I just think that if seals continue to produce, they're building a game on, or they're building on Monad, or Abstract. I actually forgot if they're doing Monad or Abstract. Both of them have been popping up on my timeline. But they're building on one of the new hype chains. I know that for sure. And I mean, Seals is just making a name for themselves. They're building a game. Wob is a gamer and a professional gamer. So I just think he has a lot of pull on gaming experiences and gaming all in all. So I just think that Pixel is kind of a no-brainer if gaming tokens make a run for it. While we're here, I actually didn't even think about this one when preparing this video, but I still like WAGMI games as well. I don't know why CoinGecko is freaking out on me. WAGMI games is an honorable mention, even though I can't click on it right now. It's currently trading at a $25 million market cap. It's tied to a mobile app that I've played and is a lot of fun. They have a very good team. They have a very experienced team. So WAGMI games would kind of be a good shout right here. That being said, I'm gonna move on to my riskiest play. I made a dedicated video on this before I bought. When I made the, it actually just went up. When I made the dedicated video, I owned 0, and I said that in the video. And I said in the video, this was when it was currently at like 220 mil or whatever it peaked at. It peaked at like 260, but it was at 220 mil the time I made the video. I said this could go under 100 mil, and if it does, I'm a buyer. That's exactly what happened. I bought on several wallets, you can see right here, and I didn't even buy a whole lot, but I bought most of mine. I mean, look, it says my average buy price is, you can see just over my head, is 95 mil. I actually bought at 95 mil. I sold on this wallet when it bounced to like 160 mil, and I'm continuously a buyer anytime it gets close to 100 mil. And I'm still holding a good bit of this on separate wallets. This is UFD, Unicorn Fart Dust, which I made a whole dedicated video on, so I'm not going to go into detail of it. But this is a new coin. The problem with new coins and market retracements is if they don't really get their footing, then they're just irrelevant. Like you gotta, you have a couple days, maybe even weeks to get your footing. If you lose it, especially if it's during a downturn, then you lose it. I just think that there's so much lore behind the token itself, behind Ron, who's behind the token, and all this, that this could be a cult coin that really just feels just low at these levels compared to the rest of the market. I do own this token, and I do hope the best for it. There's a lot of information and a little bit of time for you guys. I hope that everyone has a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. I do want to do one more thing before I finish, because this is what I always do. And if you made it to the end of the videos, I want to give you a special shout out. But particularly, I want to do that for the last video as well. I did a walkthrough on OpenSea dropping a token and how to qualify for that, and looking on to that if you haven't watched it. The keyword at the end of that video was C. So shout out to Slug for making it to the end of the video. This was a joke, but DK obviously made it to the end. Ocean, Buddy, which is super consistent in my Telegram, which is free, and also in my About section for commenting C. Thomas, Hello Motos, Simone, and Battle Beats, which is also a fellow Bodago holder. So I appreciate you for making it to the end of the video. If you made it to the end of the video, then just put down below Christmas, because it's that time of year, and I will see you guys next video.